नित्यानन्देश्वर समारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरि मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। इस समय हमारे साथ उपस्थित सभी दर्शकों और भक्तों का मैं प्रेम एवं आशीर्वाद सहित स्वागत करता हूँ। I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I welcome all the Hindu Mahasabha Swamis sitting here in the satsang, Swami Pranavananda ji and Sri Basava Swami ji and Swamiji from Junakada and all the Hindu Mahasabha members, delegates of the state committee meeting and disciples, devotees, samajis, satsangis sitting with us all over the world at this moment through Nityananda TV, Sadhana TV, Lotus News Channel, Janashri TV, Ishwar TV and two-way video conferencing having Nayana Diksha. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. And today, 20th batch of Nirahara Samyama, 3rd level, 8th day. Today I will expand on the definition of Dharma and power of words, Vaksiddhi, power of thinking, Manosiddhi, power of feeling, Prema Siddhi. Please understand, I am using a new word, Prema Siddhi. Because love was never considered as a power in the logical, rational world. It was always considered as a quality. I tell you, love is not just a quality, it is a power. Because it can cause miracles. It can do miracles. And ultimately, Atma Shakti, power of living. Vak Siddhi, Vak Shakti, Mano Shakti, Prema Shakti, Atma Shakti. How we need to imbibe everything as part of us. We need to make everything available for us. Above all, we need to know how simple to achieve this in our life. Please understand, to achieve the Vak Shakti, Vak Siddhi, you don't need to escape into some remote forest or do some unknown technique, method. No. Just in your life, if you don't lie to your boss and wife, that's enough. If you can be integrated to your neighbors and to yourself, that's enough. Oh, that is the most difficult thing, Swamiji. I know. People are actually ready to escape into Himalayas because they have made their whole life mess. They really wanted to escape. But they are not interested in cleaning up that mess they have created. I tell you, even if you escape to Himalayas for the reason you made your whole present life mess, you can't be there, you have to disappear into some safe place, you are wrong. You are wrong. And you are making the decision out of incompletion. I tell you, just simple integrity and authenticity. Simple integrity and authenticity can bring all these great powers to you, can make all these great powers happen in you. I wanted to remind this story how a single word or single letter missing, you will miss the whole essence of life. Please understand. Look. You need to really look. Any decision, whether to escape into Himalayas or get into the depths of life, let it be out of completion. Understand, I have thrown few ideas in front of you now. One, dharma. I'll give you the definition of dharma. Mahabharata very clearly says, do not do unto others what will cause pain to you if done to you. This is the definition of dharma. Second, I can give you that verse also. Natat parasya samdatyat pratikulam yatatmanaha esha samshepato dharma kamat anya pravartate. This is the definition of dharma. Mahabharata, 5th canto, 1517th verse, 113th chapter of Anushasana Parva, 8th verse defines about dharma. Natat parasya samdatyat pratikulam yatatmanaha esasham shepato dharma kamat anya pravartate. This is the definition of dharma. Next, when this definition is imbibed into our speaking, you achieve power of words. The Vak Shakti expresses through you. When this definition of dharma is imbibed into your thinking, the power of thinking expresses through you. When this definition of dharma is imbibed in your feeling, responsibility, it expresses. It gives you the power of feeling. When you imbibe this one truth into your living, power of living expresses through you. Please understand. Just this one truth becoming part of your words, thinking, feeling, and living is essence of dharma. When you are thinking, imbibes this one truth, do not do unto others that which would cause you pain if done to you. Actually, that is integrity. I can define integrity. I don't want to give a very low definition of integrity, like keeping up time, speaking the facts. No. I am very clear. Please understand. I wanted to give the adequate, larger, complete definition for integrity. The adequate, complete, larger definition for integrity is bring this principle of dharma, natat parasya samdatyat pratikulam yadatmana esacham shepato dharma kamadanya pravartade. Bring this principle into your words. Bring this dharma into your words. The words you utter towards yourself and others. I tell you, many of the spiritual organizations in India slowly lose the spirit of enriching, reaching out to people, and many of the socio-political organizations of Hinduism loses the spiritual strength. That is why the country continues to suffer. Spiritual organizations learn to reach out to people. Social organizations need to learn to retain the spiritual strength. Please understand, spiritual organizations stop with the spiritual practices like integrity, authenticity. Social organizations stop with the social principles like responsibility and enriching. First time, I'm trying to connect, and it is time we need to connect the spiritual strength and a powerful inspiration to reach out to society, like Vivekananda or Chhatrapati Shivaji Ji Maharaj. See the strength of their integrity. I know the power of Vivekananda's words. Still, when I read Vivekananda's words, they are so relevant, like today's satsang, as if the satsang delivered today morning. So relevant. A leader's words will always be relevant for ages. I can see that. When you bring integrity into your thinking, you will know the right words to be uttered. And I tell you, all leaders, whether social or political or cinema or religious or spiritual or revolutionary leaders, all leaders are successful. You can become a leader, you can become a successful leader only when you achieve the power of words. Only when you can choose the right word at right moment. The whole world, I can say only there are two kinds of people. Whole world can be divided just as two. One, the people who know to choose right word, they are always leaders. The one who don't know how to choose right words, they are always followers. That's all. World only has two categories. The ability to choose the right word. Please understand, I am not saying just the ability to choose the right word when you speak to others. I am not saying about the oratory skill or the ability to be a speaker. That is secondary. I am saying ability to choose the right word even when you talk to yourself. Ability to choose the right word when you relate with yourself. Ability to choose the right word towards you. Integrity starts. The power of dharma starts. The Vak Siddhi starts. Vak Shakti starts in you when you choose right word towards you. Please understand, right words towards you starts leadership quality in you. When you choose the right words towards you, you will choose the right words towards others. Choosing right words towards you. Please listen. I am giving you some of the important, very important basic truth about life. only the act of choosing is done consciously. Once chosen and trend is set, you cannot change it. For yourself a different trend and for others a different trend. There is only one printing machine inside you have. Whether you want to print something for yourself or print something for others, the same machine only can print. If you are using the right words towards you, you will use that same right words towards others. If you are using disheartening, negative words towards you, I have seen many people use negative words towards themselves. Oh, whatever I touch will not be successful. Anything I do will be failure. I don't know why still I am alive. When you use this kind of abusive words towards you, you will be using same words towards others. You will never give confidence, courage, energy to the people who are living around you. I tell you, only when you give courage and confidence and energy to people who are living around you, only when you make others leader, you are a leader. Leader continues to be leader as long as he makes everyone as leader. Making leaders is the job of leader. The words you use inside you and the words you use towards others will always be in a same tone. It is double-edged sword. So I tell you, the first spiritual practice you need to do is bringing dharma into your words. Dharma into your words. Bringing awareness into your words. Next, bringing dharma into your thinking. Please understand, your thinking, your mind, your inner space has four major components. The idea you carry about you, inner image. The idea you project about you to others, outer image. The idea others carry about you, others' image. An idea you carry about others and life. Life's image. Please listen. These four put together forms the way you think, why you think the way you think, why you behave the way you behave. So these four parts of your thinking need to be completely purified. It needs tremendous purification. Listen. The idea you carry about you, inner image. In Sanskrit we have the word mamakara. The idea you carry about how you project you to others is outer image, ahankara. Others' expectation about you. In Sanskrit we say anyakara. Your idea about life and others. In Sanskrit we say swa anyakara. These four, inner image, outer image, others' image, life image. I'll define once more. Ideas you have about you inside you, inner image, it will always be low. What am I? Okay. The ideas you project about you to others, outer image. In Sanskrit we have a word ahankara. It will always be more than what you are. Do you know who am I? That do you know who am I? That is ahankara. And Anyakara, what others expect from you, what others want from you, how others hold you for themselves. This is Anyakara. How you hold life and others for yourself. Swanyakara. Understand? All these four need to be consciously organized in you. If you are postponing cleaning your house, cleaning your bathroom, cleaning your bedroom, cleaning your godown, all that can be forgiven. But don't postpone cleaning your ideas about yourself, cleaning your ideas about your experience of you, cleaning your ideas about life. Please listen. Integrity or authenticity is nothing but cleaning the house we reside, cleaning the space we reside. You reside in your inner space more time than in your bedroom and office. Clean this. It is unfortunate we miss the place where we reside more time and go on cleaning the house in which we stay less time. What we feel about us, what we experience as we, and how we project ourselves to others. This need to be completed first. I am not saying remove bad quality, bring good quality. No, no, no. No quality is good or bad. All qualities are good at some point, bad at some point. I am not talking about that. I am trying to tell you only one thing. I am trying to tell you only one thing. Just bring awareness into your thinking, completion into your thinking. You will have spiritual strength. I tell you, without spiritual strength, all socio-political organizations fail. Just having social or political strength without spiritual strength, all socio-political organizations fail. Please listen. And same way, just having spiritual strength without socio-political strength, all spiritual organizations die. Like Krishna says, yogo nashta parantapaha. If you just have the spiritual strength and don't reach out to human beings. Somebody asked Buddha, why do you make your monks beg? He says beautifully, only then they will continue to keep enriching. If they get everything they need, the enriching will stop in them. I have seen my own kids, my sannyasis. Many of them are really sincere. You may not expect this word from me. Many of them are really sincere. But enriching has not become a survival instinct. It is a sincere instinct. Sincere instinct is different. Survival instinct is different. Only if you enrich, you will have your basic need. Buddha kept it in such beautiful way. For my sannyasis, it's a very sincere decision, but not survival decision. Buddha made enriching as a survival decision. If you don't reach out, you won't have food. That is why, from the time immemorial, people who are supposed to be enriching are always made to beg and eat. Because when you beg, you have to reach out to people. You have to convince that guy why he should give you food. You have to offer something in return. You have to be in touch with humanity. You have to be in touch with life. I tell you, these wealthy monasteries, where the monasteries wealth is accumulated, where a lot of wealth is there, they lose completely great truth of enriching. When the enriching is lost, you start sleeping. And with that, as Krishna says, yogo nashta parantapaha, life is lost. Life is lost. I tell you, Ramana Maharshi says beautifully, in the initial times, in the ashram, they have to send people for begging, for their food. That is the time he composed a beautiful stotra, verses, songs on Arunachala, Aksharamana Malai. So he used to tell, when the ashram becomes very popular, rich, he used to tell people, I think when our sadhus were going around begging, singing Aksharamana Malai, that time we were spreading spirituality to more number of people than now. Because now they have become rich. I tell you, even giving food to the sadhus is not a big thing. I can give food to any number of people. But once they come and settle down with their own untrained patterns and the arguments they bring, everyone should be looked upon equally. When he is not doing, why should I also not do? All right, he eats dash dash, you also eat that. He goes to hell, you want to go there. This ignorant equality, please understand, the ignorant equality is the source of communism. Unique responsibility is the source of Zen. Unique responsibility is the source of Vedic Varnashrama Dharma. Ignorant equality is the source of communism. Unique responsibility is source of Varnashrama Dharma. Varna and Ashrama of Hinduism is born out of unique responsibility. But unfortunately, these fools, they try to say, no. We are all equal. When he is not doing, why should I do? Please understand. Thinking with awareness, aligning your thinking the idea you have about you, the idea you project about you to others, and ideas others have about you, and the idea you have about life, all these four need to be ironed out, complete with this great truth of Dhamma. You need little contemplation. Today, take little time to contemplate how to bring Dharma into all this: integrity, authenticity, responsibility, and enriching. The power of your thinking, and power of your words, and power of your feeling, and power of your living. Your power of words gets enhanced with integrity. Your power of thinking gets enhanced with authenticity. Your power of feeling gets enhanced with responsibility. Your power of living gets enhanced by enriching. I tell you, only two ways you can spend your time, kala, either by enriching or into the laziness. Time spent in laziness prepares you for hell. Time spent in enriching prepares you for heaven. That's all. That's all, nothing else. There is no third choice. Either you continue to reach out to people, enriching, or you continue to wind up and fall into the ditch of laziness, shrinking, getting destroyed. One of the biggest problems Hindus have: never reach out to the world. Do you know? All over the world, outside India, all the university chairs on Hinduism, many universities have Hinduism chairs. Not a single chair is occupied by born Hindu. All the people who learnt Hinduism from books are teaching about Hinduism. Then what kind of teaching they will do? Actually, few months before I announced I am producing Hindu PhDs through our Gurukul to be appointed in those chairs. Because now they know somebody is claiming their rights. It is my right. Why will my religion be taught by somebody who is not born in my religion, who has studied few books and who doesn't have a right idea? I tell you, if you listen to what they are talking about Hinduism, it will be horrible. Once I went to an university to give a lecture in US. Literally the Hinduism students asked me, Swamiji, inside India, do you travel in car or elephant or horse? I said, come on. Means still they are thinking we are all jumping from branch to branch and riding on elephant wearing snakes. No, all that is not wrong. But I am telling you, they have no idea about how we are living now. They think Hinduism is either a pagan or some idol worship religion. I told them, Hindus don't worship idols, we worship through idols. There's a big difference between worshipping the idols and worshipping through the idols. I tell you, one of the biggest problems we Hindus have is we never reach out to people. We never stand for Dhamma. A little bit of spiritual practice we think, which is spirituality, we do that. Going to temple or chanting little mantra. I am not saying it is wrong, but I am saying very clearly, it is not adequate. It is not enough. Complete overhauling of the personality is required with integrity, authenticity, responsibility and enriching. We need to bring responsibility into our thinking, into our feeling. The power of feeling is achieved when you bring responsibility. I always give this example. If you see a scrolling in the channel, bomb blast, 120 people died, you wake up, oh God, where? Iraq. You just, okay, it's okay. The moment you get the information, Iraq, you think it is not my responsibility, somebody else's place, leave it. But if that word is India, immediately you wake up, oh God, what is happening? Because you feel emotionally responsible only for India. I tell you, we need to feel emotionally responsible for all the Hindus all over the world. And ultimately, all the human beings all over the world. It is our responsibility to enrich them. Understand? Only with responsibility, the power of your feeling is awakened. Enriching. The fourth principle. Reaching out to people. Constantly enriching others' lives. Constantly enriching others' lives. Please listen. Integrity brings power of thinking in you. Integrity brings power of words in you. Authenticity brings power of thinking in you. Responsibility brings power of feeling in you. Enriching brings power of living in you. Infuse this one concept of dharma. Natat parasya samdatyat pratikulam yatatmanaha esasam kshepato dharma kamat anya pravartate into your words, thinking, feeling and living. I tell you, you will live in your peak possibility. You will live like God on the earth. I'll continue on these same truths tomorrow also. Inner awakening in Bali is all about these four major truths becoming life, experience, biomemory, bioenergy in you. let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nityananda.
Nityananda Dhyanapitham, Nityananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nityananda.org. www.youtube.com/Life Bliss Foundation.